Welcome back, everyone, for today's video. Today I'm going to be showing you one of the rarest moves you can possibly do in a chess game, and I accomplished this in a recent blitz game of mine. No, it's not en passant checkmate, although it might be a little bit more common than that. It is underpromoting to a bishop, so stick around to the end to see how exactly I underpromoted to a bishop and if I was being fancy or disrespectful, or if it was indeed the only winning move in the position. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the action. So I start out the game with e4, and my opponent plays a d6, the perk defense. And in my last video, my opponent also played a perk defense, so it's going to be a similar sort of game here. Instead of knight f3, though, I played d4, taking the center more aggressively, and my opponent goes g6, preparing to fianchetto the bishop on g7. I play the move knight f3, bishop g7, and h4. I'm immediately trying to chip away at black's king side and try to induce some weaknesses. Now here my opponent already made an opening mistake. They played the move knight to d7. And the best move was knight f6 to, I guess, develop right away and prepare castling. So I just continue with my plan. I played h5, trying to open the h file as quickly as possible. And my opponent was pre-moving here because they allowed me to go h6 and basically shove that bishop back to f8 where it started. Next, I play the move e5. I'm doing really well so far, capitalizing on my space advantage. And after the knight moved to e4, I decided, okay, how do I continue? Okay, computer recommends e6 here, sacrificing a pawn and basically making black's pawn structure really weak. And then you can go after the weak king on the diagonal. Maybe bishop d3. Is bishop d3 one of the moves? Yeah, bishop d3 is definitely a move you can play in this type of position. But I didn't go e6. I went bishop d3 first. Still a perfectly reasonable move. And my opponent went d5, defending the knight in the center. I play c4. I'm trying to undermine the knight. And my opponent goes e6, creating a very solid defense. Point is, if I take, pawn takes back, and the pawn on e6 replaces the pawn on d5. So I play the move taking the pawn, and after taking back, go knight c3. After the quick trade, I'm still better because black's development is really bad. I have this pawn on h6 that's sort of cramping black, and I also have more center space. So for that reason, white is doing very well. So black tries to develop the bishop to e7 and prepares to castle, and I play the move c4. I was trying to have black take, and my bishop would get on a better diagonal. Maybe I would push d5 in the future. Point is, I didn't want that center pawn there. Black played c6. Looks pretty logical. Again, computer recommends this line of e6. And then to play the move queen to c2. For having some potential sacrificing ideas on g6 in the future. And basically, black's position has a lot of weaknesses they have to defend. So after c6, I play c takes d5, c takes d5, and I go rook b1. Maybe that way the bishop on c8 wouldn't develop, and I would always be pressuring the pawn. Okay, opponent does castle, but I'm still better because of that h6 pawn, like I've mentioned before. And I can also put my queen on c2, maybe. Again, computer is very persistent about this e6 motif, really damaging black's pawn structure. But I instead go queen c2 first. Then I was preparing to go e6, but apparently this order is wrong because of knight b8, which is the best move, but who plays knight b8? Knight b6 is also reasonable, and I play the move bishop to d2. It's getting the last piece out, loses some of the advantage. Knight c4, I'm like, okay, free pawn, right? So positions now has been equalized, even though I'm up a pawn. And black plays the move bishop to f5, and okay, I realize they hang the pawn on b7, so I go ahead and take it. And here black plays the move rook c8, trying to attack my queen, maybe getting some piece activity at the same time. So I decide where to move my queen. I decide to go to b3, not the best square. Queen e2 was better. I wanted to maybe keep pressure on the f-pawn. Okay, bishop e6. I basically allowed the bishop to have a tempo on my queen. Queen b2, I played queen b2, and after bishop to d5, I took on a7. Why not? Another free pawn. And even though I'm up 3 pawns in this position, I'm not castled, and black can actually exploit my king in the center. Rook a8, and black also has more pieces out than I do, like more space. So rook b8 is played, and I decide to go queen a1, not the best square. Yeah, this wasn't a very accurate game. Not many. I made a few mistakes, many more than usual. So bishop takes f3, pawn takes f3, and bishop to g5 was played. And I was thinking, do I push f4? Do I trade? Do I defend the bishop with my queen? I ended up going f4. I mean, just attacking the bishop. Apparently not good. Bishop e7, f5. Again, a mistake. I was trying to sack a pawn to open the king side. Bishop e4, a very good move. Basically, if I take the bishop, which I did in the game, but let's say I don't, then black's threatening right now to make my king go in the center, and black's going to play like moves like queen b6 and potentially, and double on the b file, attack my rook. It's not pretty. So I decided to take that bishop, rook takes, and I take on g6, trying to maybe open the king side a bit, but it doesn't really work. So after h takes g6, I'm down a minute on time. I'm not in a good position according to Stockfish. Even though I am up 3 pawns, my king safety is kind of compromised. So I go h7 check, and black only has one good move here. If they go king g7, then after the move e6 now is really powerful, because I'm threatening like rook f7. I'm preparing to push my d-pawn to d5 and open the discovery on the king. So king h8 is better here. And I thought the idea was the same. I played d5, which is a very bad move. It's because, okay, apparently the best move was to take the pawn, and e6 is not scary at all, because black can cover with f6, and then they can go attack my king on e1. So black's actually doing fine here. So after d5, rook e4 was played. I slide my king to f1, only safe square. And my opponent now plays the losing move, queen to b6. And here is where I start my attack on the king. I play the move e6 check. That was the whole point of putting my queen on a1. I kind of saw this would happen. And after the move f6, I don't know why chess.com didn't award me a brilliant move for this next move, but let's pretend it is, because it deserves a brilliancy. You guys all know that. Here in this position, the only move is to sacrifice the queen. Queen takes f6 check, and black is mated, basically. The king has nowhere to go. Rook takes is forced, so I decoy the rook off the back rank, allowing rook to a8 check, and my h-pawn is going to promote. So after the king went to g7, I think you guys are going to tell what's coming next by the title of the video. Why would you checkmate with rook to g8? Why would you checkmate by promoting the queen? Why would you do any of that when you can promote to a bishop and give the same checkmate? Come on, you guys have to choose the disrespectful option if possible. So here in this position, I promote to a bishop, flexing on my opponent that I won, down 3 points material, down 1 minute and 8 seconds on time. My pawn on e6 guards the king's escape square. So yeah, this was a really funny way to rub this victory in my opponent's face. I don't think I'll ever promote to a bishop when it's actually the winning move. Here I just did it just to flex. So I hope you enjoyed this little funny move I did at the end. And if you like more content like this, please let me know. Share a comment down below. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button below. And until next time, bye.